This here's the story of a man by the name of Arthur Morgan. Now, you probably can't tell from the looks of him, but Arthur here's the rootinest, tootinest, random stranger shootinest cowboy in all the West. And there's a reason he probably don't look how you'd expect him to. Though the life of a cowboy may seem easy, with the riding everywhere on horseback, no need for an education, and practically non-existent hygiene norms of the late 19th century, it most certainly is not cheap. After all, you gotta have the money to pay for all those bullets, whiskey, and most importantly, fancy cowboy hats. Now, Arthur may be dirt poor, but he's not stupid. I mean, he's probably not the smartest, considering the aforementioned lack of education, but he's not that dumb. He's already thought of a way to make some money. Not only that, but it's perfectly legal too. He's learned from his random stranger shooting past that a life of crime is no life for him. Yep, he's a man of morals now, and as a man of morals, there's no better way to earn a buck than to shoot a buck and sell its flesh and organs. But before he could go hunting, Arthur wanted to go on a nice and calm fishing trip. With a fortune within his sights, Arthur went to work immediately, grabbing his old fishing pole and heading into town. It was there that he bought some bait from the general store. Since he planned on fishing at the lake near camp, he went for the worms. In addition to the bait, Arthur looked longingly at the clothing for sale. He'd get his drip soon enough, but for now, it was time to get to work. And so, having collected all the supplies he needed, Arthur rode down to the water's edge, finding a nice quiet place to cast his line. And I have to say, all the mud, brown water, mosquitoes, and poisonous snakes really made this the perfect place to spend the day casting lines. In fact, those shores were so pleasant that Arthur decided to leave not even 15 minutes after settling in. He figured that he'd better choose a place with good scenery because, if the fish weren't biting, he could always just admire the view. Now Arthur fished and fished and fished. He fished until his eyes glazed over. He fished until there were no more fish to catch. He fished until he watched the river dry up and the sun burn out, leaving him in a world that was nothing but a dark, empty void. Man, I tell you, fishing can get a little boring after a while. And so, having watched the deer come and go from the water's edge, Arthur thought it was finally time to go hunting. After selling his catch, Arthur grabbed his old rifle and rode northwest past Strawberry to go hunting in the mountains, mainly looking for deer. But there'd be a wide range of animals for him to hunt, from little beavers to rams to cougars and even bears. The latter two creatures may sound like they'd be too dangerous to hunt, but they'd be no match for Arthur's hunting prowess. Though he lacked the quiet footsteps of a cougar and the sheer strength of a bear, he had something that more than made up for these shortcomings. A gun. And boy was he good with it. Beaver or bear, it didn't matter. Arthur killed them all with ease. He tore through the forest, leaving only a path of skinned carcasses and rifle round casings. With all the animals he killed, Arthur had likely altered the wildlife populations in that area for years to come. But we can't forget that all this killing was for a reason. Arthur needs his drip. And after a while, after countless animals had been bested by his scoped rifle, Arthur came across what would be his last quarry. A perfect grizzly bear. Now, while he wanted to take the shot as quickly as possible, the bear was turned away, so Arthur couldn't get a clean shot on it. So, as the bear was walking away, Arthur was in quick pursuit, eagerly waiting for the perfect shot opportunity to open up. As Arthur walked on, with the bear not too far ahead, he noticed something incredible. The bear was walking right up to the trapper, where he'd be able to sell all the pelts he'd been collecting. Now Arthur was close enough to call the bear, so there was nothing left but to take the shot. And like that, Arthur's financial troubles were over. Now that he had made his fortune, all Arthur had to do was ride all the way back to Rhodes and buy the clothes he'd wanted for so long. And so, in the dead of night, he rode swiftly across the empty countryside. Soon enough, the general store was in sight, and Arthur hitched his horse and waited until morning. He walked inside, opened up the catalog, paged through for a moment, and finally settled on his outfit. The Gambler. Yeah, he liked the sound of that. The clothes fit Arthur perfectly when he tried them on. He paid for his drip and moseyed on out of the general store, strolling out of town with a swagger the townsfolk had never seen before. Arthur had done it. He got his drip.